Okay. Oh dear. My mic is hot. Okay, this is just getting set up. I'm gonna stop right before the hour and... Okay, this is just getting set up. I'm gonna stop right before the hour and... Okay, this is... Go, got that muted. Okay, demo. Well, hello, boys and girls. Is there anybody's homeses? Well, alright, I've got a large amount of my tech seems to be working. I had shots in both eyes yesterday, so I've got eye boogers.
Kroger Pharmacy, Harwood.
What do you want? Hi, boys and girls and dogs and cats and living together in mass hysteria. This is Keith. Good afternoon. Probably won't be wearing this hat very long because I can't do my glasses trick. I got my free projector working and projecting on the far wall. I can't focus it, but it's the right amount so I can read chat on the wall. I can read the writing on the wall. Kodachrome, give us a nice bright colors. Is that the right song? I can read the writing. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so, hi boys and peoples. Whew. ready to display messages. I might be able to read it right there. With it full screen. Yeah, I got eye boogers. I get injections in both of my eyes for macular nastiness. For leaving my blood sugar too high for too many decades. It is trending better, but yeah, still needs some seeing to. There we go. Still have not been able to unmirror. See this right hand? That's my left hand. Oh. Good Lord, it's so hard to get it in camera. There. That right hand? That's my left hand. I'm wearing jewelry so you couldn't tell, but I can't keep this thing from being mirrored. The other camera wasn't mirrored. Didn't even have to mess with it. It just wasn't. Now I can't persuade this. If anybody shows up, I've got some show and tell to do. But right now I've got a bunch of, oh boy. Got a bunch of largely falling apart. Dang it. Oh, that is so frustrating, you guys. I learned that this kind of temporary tack job is all too temporary. I was just holding it and the weight of it started breaking it apart, but there's still a pretty large amount. It reminds me of a fencing mask. You can begin to see the plan. I'm going to be supplementing, adding more stuff here, kind of like grout, but getting it out of the form is very difficult, and in fact caused problems. Here is the copper bowl that I am using to make the keys follow this curve. I had about a 70% complete globe, and it kind of fell apart on me. Stuck it down too well with the glue, and that took some of it. So hopefully I can do some more with it without hot gluing to the copper. Don't have any cyanoacrylate glue that I can lay my hands on. I think that in future, each time I'm going to put one of these little joining things down, I want to hit it with just a little bit of cyanoacrylate glue and put that there so that that will kind of encourage the structural putty to really adhere to the keycaps. Bear in mind, I have not sanded nor heat treated any of this plastic. I'm trying to see what I can do without doing that, because there are so many of these. Doing them individually will take the rest of my life, and I really like to see what I can do without doing something that I know is going to suck. That I know I'm not going to like at all. Okay, let's get this out of the way. So how's everybody doing? It's Friday about 2 something. None of my devices will tell me what time it is at the moment. But that's just how things go. Sometimes when you are me. And I don't recommend it. Although I am well aware there are people who've got it way worse than I do. Ooh. Let's see if that gap's too big for that to work. I don't know where the piece that had been in there went. I marked it with some Sharpie marker. Maybe that's not the right. Oh, that's not the right place. Ah, that's a different place. Ah, I see. Okay. Well, that clears that up a bit. What do we think? Like this? I think this is better. Oh, that just almost goes in rather well, but not quite. Well, I guess I need a quadruplex to go here. That's one. I can put that in a minute. I'll do things one piece at a time. So I haven't adhered. I can't say words. I haven't adhered anything to the copper this time. It's truly a pain to have to turn my entire laptop to point that camera at me. But of all the cameras I've got going, that's one of them, and it doesn't have the ability to pivot. This is another thing that I painted, good Lord, more than 10 years ago. It's a globe. It was a light up globe. You could turn on a light inside, but I wanted to paint it to look realistic. A lot of things I would do differently, but still something I'm reasonably proud of. I don't know where the small one went. I had a much smaller globe. It's lost in here on one of my desktops. La la la. What are you doing? Your phone screen will go. Okay, that still seems to be working. Okay. So we got this part to work on. Near. It's not a great song. I will grant you that. tools are out of place. Yeah. Let's get something there. Here's something they made for a Christmas present a while back. I just have like a ice cube tray, and that's air dry clay. More on that before too long, I hope. Something under the mat here. Let's do that, shall we? This is the part, yeah. Okay. If anybody does come in, please feel free to say hello. You don't have to. You can just lurk, of course. You can look at the video on demand. I am seeing that the videos on demand are getting, 5 to 7 views, and only one of those is me. So that's kind of cool. La 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 la. So I've got to mix up some of the epoxy sculpt, little tongue, small tongue. Never gonna remember that correctly. Is anything that I am looking for? I do not know. It used to be here, but it's not anymore. And this is for Stinky Bee. You stinky bee. Okay. I've been working between streams on learning some tech and getting some things ready for when we have chatting peoples. But that is a long slog, especially since I have to be bad at this before I can be good at this. He said as he couldn't remember where to look for his base camera. It's right there. You will be. Alright, come here to me. Let's see if that's about the right amount. Ooh, I didn't put on any gloves. I did not put on any gloves. That's not cool. It is not cool. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm just gonna alcohol them real quick. Whew. I don't like the smell of rubbing alcohol. Jam Spelly! This is a great way to get back at tech. What's going on, Jam Spelly? Everybody say hi to Spam Jelly. My brother from the same mother. One of my brothers from one of our same mother. You see how the pieces kind of flung apart a bit. Same song, second verse. Peter, if you know any way to reverse a web camera, this is not my left hand. This is my right hand. I despise that, and it goes the wrong way. So putting things on camera is near impossible. The other camera, while it still worked, didn't do me that way. I'm putting on gloves, because no gloves, no loves. How are things in the big A town? Hey Google, what is the current temperature in Abilene, Texas?
The current temperature in Abilene is 92 degrees.
What is the heat index?
Right now in Abilene, the heat index is 94.
94? Oh, that's survivable. Alrighty. So I have my phone is casting to the projector, and the projector is projecting on the wall, so I can see Twitch chat without my glasses above all my screens. Not ideal, and I need to hang a better piece of paper. But I like being able to see it at all. Good, it's not running my phone battery down. Alright, so now we're going to mix these two-part putty together. It's like JB Weld, except more expensive and probably not as strong. I probably should have used JB Weld. I wonder if JB Weld is. It might be more expensive because you buy it in smaller amounts. I don't know. I see that often nowadays. There should be a thing in your camera settings that call mirror. Yeah, I looked for filters, I looked for properties, I looked for all kinds of things. I've asked artificial intelligence, I've asked Google, I've asked Jeeves, I've asked DuckDuckGo, and none of them have been helpful so far. And I need stronger lights. Okay, good. Getting there. It's very sticky. So, we go back to forming up so far it's not firm at all. You know, I need my glasses. Everybody sing along with me. You probably know the words. Piotr Mazalima, Piotr Mazalima, Piotr Mazalima. I don't like this being freebooting. But when I used the hot glue, it made me have to put too much pressure and break some of these junctures apart. I didn't place this very well. It's not gonna. I don't want to stay in spot. Get in there. Get in there. And leave the tool. Just now get up to the inside of the key. The concave part of the key, so it'll grab it. Like Jojo Rabbit. Strong movie recommendation, that Jojo Rabbit. Don't read about it, don't learn anything about it, don't spoil a damn thing. And don't let yourself talk yourself out of watching it. Give it a minute before you just turn it off, because it is worth it. There we go. I'm being a more generous with the putty now. I need to buy some more. I'll run out before long. But the reason to use this putty is it's nice and structurally strong, unless it just isn't. You are making crunchy alphabet soup. I am. Also a little tiny bit like a disco mirror ball. Pull that one off. Let's see if I can get one in there. Testicles. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Oh dear. It's gonna be a problem area, I predict. There, so I can do this right here. Let's do it like this, maybe. La 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 la. I can't get that to sit up like I want it to, because I can't. Let's see if I do this way. No, that's no good also. Well, I gotta figure this out on the fly. Because I'm gonna figure it out on the fly guy. Crunchy alphabet soap. I like the idea of alphabet soap. Don't worry. Whether it's autocorrect being incorrect or brain, we know what you're talking about, even if you don't. Come on, thing. Come on, get in there. Way to go, thing. Lend a hand. You know, there's some guys on Twitch that play pinball, real life pinball with cameras on it on Twitch. I watched them a little bit. Oh, that's upsetting. Alright, I need a shallow dish of some stripe. Maybe round would be good. About a big old popcorn bucket. Might be not the finest, but not the worst, maybe. Okay. Too far away. Oops. Don't do this. Don't do this, please. To me, don't be doing this. I smile at your face all the time. I want to take your place. I backstabber. I backstabber. I've been breaking into that song for a long time. I narrate what I'm doing, like, okay, what am I doing? What I do? I smile at your face all the time. I want to take your place. I backstab. Alright, I need more join nips. There's a spot. I better make this a generous one. No. I don't know if you're here, Spam Jelly, but I was chatting with Cliff. This kind of reminded me a little bit of watching Dad sculpting his Western bronze horses up in the studio and let me kind of watch. Man, he could have cleaned up on streaming. He could have been a really charismatic. I've seen people that do virtual, even virtual jigsaw puzzles. I don't know if anybody does real. I mean, there's a YouTuber that does real life jigsaw puzzles, Karen puzzles, but I don't think she streams. Let me see. I need to find some more joiny spots. I'm afraid this is not going to be very structural for the short term. There's a spot. Okay, right in there. Yeah, there are people that play Scrabble, which I might try that. I don't know. I haven't really tried playing online Scrabble in a long time. I play so slow. And if there's a time limit, I don't play well at all. Unfortunately, the buildup of hot glue on the keys is making it not form fit to the copper too well, but I guess that's alright. That's too much at once. I need a twofer. Have I got a twofer? That was a messy one. Not hard to break those loose. Dang it. Yeah, it's not gonna go in there. I just put one key in there, but without it adhering, it's going to be really difficult. The difficult is my middle name. Or at least my middle name seems to be difficult for people to use. And if I tell them that's what I go by. Ooh. This is kind of difficult with them freely roaming. So, Spam Jelly, I watched the new Ghostbusters. I don't want to shape anybody's enjoyment or lack thereof. I really, really, really loved the first new one, the previous one, I guess. And this one was good. In places it was kind of great. It starts a little mediocre for my money, and a little too fan servicey. And I get being fan servicey for a thing like this. You know, the people who made it are fans. But it almost felt like a fan created movie. Oh, and I didn't watch it on YouTube because, for one thing, the closed captioning was terrible. But the same day it became available on YouTube under somebody's own channel name. It was also available on, what is it called? Starts with them chasing a sewer dragon. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot to like. I'm not running it down. It just kind of didn't start terribly well. I don't know. It's a problem of what do you call sequels, especially when the one before it is really strong. And by the way, while we're on the topic of Ghostbusters, there's not a damn thing wrong with the female Ghostbusters. I freaking love that. It's hilarious. And very much in the spirit, I think people are just too resistant to change and I mean, I used to be that way a little bit. I'm making one last little snake here because I've roughly reached how many I can fit. So I'm putting it on the mask. What was I saying? Oh, if somebody remakes a song or a TV show or movie, they don't erase the original. It's still there. You can still put your eyes on it. And you can certainly choose to compare them. It's kind of hard not to, I know, but I don't know. I just did not understand the blowback that the female Ghostbusters got. Bussin' makes me feel good. Okay. The mouse over there, alright. Well, that is basically what I can do right at the moment. I've basically filled the copper. So last time I was messing with two-part epoxy sculpt, I had an idea for something. I wanted to make geometric figures like this pentagonal dodecahedron. And the idea with this was I was using a clay that I thought I could dissolve with water. I wasn't thinking clearly. It's cellu clay, which... All right, I agree. Having living OGs in it. Yep. That's the chance to include the dead. The dead GO as a ghost. OG. You mean Venkman? Wait. Egon. Anyway, so this is a mixture of epoxy sculpt, the previous brand, and a kind of clay called an air dry clay called cellu clay, which is paper pulp. Like cellulose that they mash together to make paper. And since I thought of it as being kind of paper, I thought, well, if I soak it right away, that will dissolve, and then I'll be able to power wash that part of the clay out, and it will be part this hard white stuff, this stuff, and part air, part nothing, negative space. And I'm still planning to do that. I just have to do it the right way. I have some ceramic clay, some actual clay that's water-based. And as long as you don't let it get dry, it doesn't really harden that badly. In fact, even if you let it get dry, you can soak it long enough and it'll turn back into slip, they call it, which you can pour into molds. So, I will mix together this two-part stuff and just very roughly mix it up with the ceramic clay, get a shape that I like, and then this stuff hardens so fast, that's kind of good, so the ceramic clay won't have time to set up too hard, and I can soak it. But when I tried that with the cellu clay and the epoxy sculpt, I just left it in water for, it was months. It was more than a month. And I went back to it. I also made a tetrahedron. And I got it out and realized my mistake. There's not going to be any negative space there. But this stuff is really strong and really light. It's a lot lighter than this stuff by itself. So that was kind of fascinating. Somewhere around here I've got a thrift store Spider-Man toy. Nice, I guess 12-inch tall Spider-Man. And I want to cover him with that, well, first cover him with tape or something, and then put on the clay, because I want to make the drone characters. If you see a TV show called West Wing, not West Wing, Westworld, there weren't drones in West Wing, although it was a good show. And I really want one of those white faceless drones to stand on my wall, and that Spider-Man, if I could just locate it, I can just kind of build up a skin around it, front and back, and then put it together. And I'm hoping that I can make multiple deals with that, because this stuff is so strong it doesn't have to be very thick. So that's a plan in progress. I'm also working on something that I might make available to anyone who joins me on Patreon. Patreon.com/thoughtstorms. Yes, I know it. When I couldn't get my tech going, I had a lot of time on my hands, and I thought, well, I'll figure out this Patreon thing. So, oh shoot, you can't really see on this white background. Let me put these pieces on a black background, see what you can tell about them. This is a 1-part air dry clay. Foam clay, it gets called. It's nice and light, which I like, especially for this project. So you can see a bunch of little pieces here. I don't know how detailed you can see, but that's not everything. This will be a big hint. Dun, dun, dun. Now that's not just a big waste of clay. I've wadded up some foil and covered it with the same clay. Now, this is getting confusing because it looks kind of the same. It's not nearly as hard or as heavy or as structurally strong, but it is nicely air dry, and a big piece. There's a ball of foil I haven't covered with the clay yet. So the idea is I want to make the opposite of a miniature. I want to make a bigature. I'm taking the hat off. A little too sweaty. Ah, crap. That blocks my projector vision. So if you got a ball like this and something like this sticking off of it, and some of these, eventually I'll add some painted color, although this will be mostly white or just slightly off-white. I'll make popcorn kernels, great old big popcorn kernels. I made a logo for the improv group I planned on creating. It was going to be called Brain Punk Theater, and thought I had an example of the logo. My little icon on Twitch is the main part of the logo. It's a 7-tooth cog, so it looks like a settings icon on a piece of software, but it also looks like a brain. And the idea is it's thought-driven comedy, and then that interlocked with a metal cog, 5-pointed, and then the two of them were together in 3 cogs together, which doesn't work, by the way, and that's the whole point. And instead of a third cog, I rendered a piece of popcorn there. And if I ever am able to animate it, it will turn and break that popcorn, and that pieces of popcorn will end up falling. So popcorn is sort of a good themed idea, because I plan to do Brain Punk Theater basically on stream. Hopefully with maybe a live person in studio with me, or joined up over the internet, them on their own camera and me on mine. That can be challenging. Timing can be really difficult, but I still want to make it happen, even though I can't really do it in real life on the stage. I'm not physically fit enough to romp around on stage like I used to was. So I would like to make these large popcorn kernels about that size. Am I on camera? I thought a bunch of cool ways to make them look kind of realistic, and maybe even a way to make them in kind of a chaotic way, the way nature makes them. But that's all a down the road project. And if anybody joins up on Patreon, I can send them one, and it'll be so light it won't cost anything to speak of to ship. So, but as I hope I will always remember to say, I don't want anybody giving money to Patreon that they can't sit on the sidewalk and walk away from and never see again. If you were gonna put it in a metal pan and set fire to it, maybe send it to me instead. If you need it for food, Netflix, electricity, whatever, don't send it to me. Because for one thing, I'm not offering a product really. I'm offering a chance for people to help if they're able and interested. It's a little bit like a GoFundMe, and I hope I won't only repeat myself here, but there are family members and friends that just can't stand to see me go homeless, and so they help me more than they really can afford to do. So help in this vein, in the Patreon or Ko-fi, when I get that going, will back them up, basically. It's hard for me to ask for help. I don't feel like I have earned it. I certainly haven't earned it as a streamer. I'm not very good as a streamer yet at all. I don't even feel like I'm very good as an artist, or a sculptor at least. But that's the idea. I gotta be shambolic. I gotta be bad at this until I can get good at this. I'm looking for an affordable digital software akin to Photoshop. I have my old version of Photoshop, Creative Suite 2. So this would be from around 2004 era. And I can use it on my old Windows 7 computer, but I can't get that on my stream here. And showing people how to make artwork on Photoshop when it's a very old version, I don't know. There are some free versions, but for one thing, I need one that will do 8BF. There are some really wonderful digital filters that I paid for. Yeah, GIMP is there, but it won't handle my Filter Forge. I bought a lifetime membership to Filter Forge, so each time they come out with a new version, I should be able to download it and use it. Well, now I can only do that on Photoshop. There's an inexpensive one that you don't have to pay. I'm not willing to pay a monthly fee for software unless it is way more magical than any software I've ever heard of. I might consider paying a monthly fee for 3D sculpting software that I can do in virtual reality. VR sculpting, it's called. So far I haven't been able to do that. I bought a $30 package to go with my Oculus Quest 1, which I bought minutes before it became here's a CS2 also. Yeah, that was a pretty good release, and I still use it on my old Windows 7 computer. If I could just get that to output and into OBS so I could put it on stream, because I've actually taught people. Good friend of mine named Michael is a really talented artist. I mean, puts me to shame. He paints. He did a lot of stuff with airbrush that was just magnificent, but he'd never messed with digital stuff. And so I gave him some lessons, and man, pretty quickly the student had outmatched, had left the teacher behind. PS still works, but nothing else. I haven't tried any of my other Creative Suite besides Photoshop. But I've made a butt-ton of digital artworks and artworks using fractal programs, and I would like to show, for one thing, to mix things up and not always be messing with these keycaps and two-part epoxy and maybe even the foam clay. I'll show you the foam clay. Bought a rather large tub of it back when unemployment on steroids was still a thing. You won't be able to read it, of course. White Magic by the Foamery. Multiple cosplay foam clay. And it's kind of badass. Peter, if you remember, I made Win 10. Yeah, I still have my software, and I could install it on my computer, but I'm not certain. I don't really love the idea of showing people how to do things on really dated software, and now I kind of believe in getting good with an affordable one that doesn't have a monthly fee. I cannot remember the name of it. I've just started looking into it. Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. It's like $40 one time, and you own it. Anyway, this cosplay stuff is what I made the Christmas brains several Christmases back. What else have I got cooking in my brain pan? I have lots of globes. The idea of painting globes to look realistic is still desirable to me. I hate looking at this mirrored. Turns Africa into a wrong-headed pork chop. Yeah. I don't think. Let's see if I have. There it is. No. Okay, one of my. Here it is. Yeah, dang it. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not. Huh. That's trippy and undo that. All right. Well, I was hoping that I was set up to do maybe an online game, since I'm at a pausing point on the sculpting stuff. I know this is not riveting. The director is having a keyboard seizure. Where are you? Browse. Okay. Why won't this? Maybe it's a game that yes, it looks like now it's allowing that, but I need to move it on to a different monitor so I can still see OBS. Because I thought when taken might be a good activity. Help me again, Jam Spelly. I like doing the spoonerism with people's names. Spam Jelly. What I do? When taken. Dang it. When taken. There it is. Make it full screen. Ooh, this is a really small screen. Okay, where? Daily game, here we go. I can't tell yet how well you can see. I'll make it full screen. Oh, that was whoo. Alright, looks like we got some war time. Can we zoom in on here? Generale. Can't really make anything out on the text on that, but the Generale with an E on the end makes me think maybe France. Oh. Oh wow, these guys. Yeah, this is World War I. Not yet called World War I. And my history is crap. So I'm just gonna guess France, and I'm gonna put it, what? 20. 1916. Shoot, I don't remember the dates of the Great War. That's terrible. Come on, thing. Work with me, how about? Why you gotta be in the way? One moment, please. Come on. There you go. So yeah, I'm going to German occupation of Italy. Yep. I think you're right. I'm going to go with Italy on your recommendation. See if I can small this down a little bit. Hello. Why won't you work? Okay. Italy. The big boot. So what do we think? Just looking for a town that I can remember being talked about in the war movies. I don't tend to watch war movies, especially not for that war. I really liked Malon. Not heard of that. I don't want to agonize on it too hard. I don't see anything called that. Bologna, Venice, Verona, Veneto, Lombardy, Milan, Turin, Genoa. That's France. Tell you what, I'm just gonna put it fairly central Italy. Right there, how about? Yeah, that's no worries. Oh, I can't get to the button. There it is. So what we say? 1918? That's going to be really embarrassing if I'm way off. But I'm guessing. 1 year off. 17 and 312 kilometers away. Not bad. 189 out of 200. Not bad. Next round. Yay. Okay, that's going to be really hard for you to see, but maybe better now. I feel like I've seen this location in this game before, but I could be wrong. It's kind of street fair. I'm thinking it's modern, but maybe not this year, you know. 2020. It's always interesting to decide whether to put it before or after the pandemic beginning. One thing I like to look for is like optic yellow or optic green, you know, some of those t-shirt colors that they couldn't do 15 years ago. I don't know how long those have been around. So not seeing that, I'm going to make this 2022, I think. Yeah. Tell you what. I'll tell you something here. Ta-da! Now you can see it better. Can't see the chat, but it's all right. Still haven't really lined up what country I think this is. It feels... Oh, here's a flag. A flag I do not recognize. At all. Flags are useful on these games. Man, I don't see a street name. I saw a street name on one. I was like, I put my pen inches from where it was. It was in New Orleans. But there's nothing to go on except, you know, the architecture is old. And to me, yeah, I'm thinking Mexico or Spain or possibly Portugal. I feel that more than like Brazil. So zoom out and see what it looks like. I think I'm going to try Spain. Just fairly middle of the road Spain. Not the capital. You think it's Mexico? If you feel strongly, I'll go with it. I don't think it's Mexico City, but it might be not far from it. Haha. Are you looking on Google or something? Let me see where. Probably can't see. I think I'd forgotten that the Rio Grande runs down there and into Mexico. I'm just gonna put it Mexico City. I'll do it pretty close. About right there. Okay. And for the year, I'm gonna go 2017. 2024. Mexico City, Mexico. Good job. You steered me right. I didn't check the score, but our total score so far is 378 out of 1,000. Oh, that's a different kind of tiered pyramid. To me, a tall one like that, you think Aztec? I felt like the Aztecs don't tend to be so tall. Like Chichen Itza that Brian and I went to, it was not as steep. But I always want to put it in Peru, and it's almost never right. Machu Picchu. Okay. Where are you, Machu Picchu? I know where Cancun is. Because I've been there. I want a trip there in 99, I think it was. Okay, there's Cancun, Yucatan, Merida, Puerto, Campeche, Biosphere Reserve. See, some of there's like national parks and things. I mean, I'm going to have to get on Google Maps to find Machu Picchu. Because I don't remember where it is relative to Chichen Itza. 'Cause that's the one I've been to. I actually climbed. They still let you go up that one. This is Apple Maps. Maybe they do it on purpose so you can't search. Blank. I am an American and I haven't been overseas very much. Date looks like 80s. Man, I can't find anything that rings a bell. Guatemala. Oh. I got all zoomed in. I'm in Belize. I'm not even in Mexico anymore. Here we go. I'm going to stick it right there. I'm going to hedge a little bit more recent than that. I'm going to try 1992. Picking a number. It isn't Machu Picchu. I didn't. Yeah, I don't think it is either. I think we might find it's not even Mexico, but we'll see. How'd we do? 2002. Not bad. 10 years? And yeah, it was very close. Wow. That was my guess, and the location was here. So that's actually part of Guatemala. I knew it wasn't Mexico. No, I'm kidding. Tikal Temple. Tikal, Guatemala. All right, next round. Full screen. There's a flag there. Pretty hard to tell what it is. I think they did that on purpose. There's another one. That's not a Dixie flag, is it? I don't think it is. I thought that of the small, the other one, the small one. Don't recognize the license. What do you call them? Okay, this is not U.S. I don't think any of those are United States plates. The projector is partly falling on my face. Fall on my face. Okay, there's a CCTV, so that puts us 80s or later. Yeah, there's a uniform guy. Maybe carrying a flag. Boy, if I knew my flags better, I'd have to know them really well to get anything out of that. The architecture at first glance reminded me of New Orleans, but it's definitely not France. I'm gonna when I play on my phone, sometimes I'll actually Google search the better flag to the left. You mean this one here? Yeah, I don't. Looks to me like they don't take the flags down and put them back up, so they get really kind of tangled up. I don't see, on top of the building, I don't see cell phone towers, unless maybe that is. So I'm going to say early aughts. Suzuki. Oh. No parking in English. Something vehicles. That word there is vehicles. Times in AM and PM. Well, I don't know where to put it. I'm gonna just, whoops. Oh, it's funny, I was kind of thinking Portugal, and that's kind of where I accidentally clicked. I really don't know much about Portugal, so it's a total dart at the map approach. And we'll say 2008. How bad? 2014. Government St. Kitts. Oh, St. Kitts and Nevis. Wow. St. Kitts and Nevis, that's in the Bahamas. I wonder how close it is to, it's not, it's about 3 big islands away from Dominica, where our dad lived. Yeah, me either. Good Lord. St. Kitts and Nevis. Yeah, people who have actually traveled a lot have a much better chance at this. Okay, let's send this in. La. Ooh. Oh, there we go. There's come on. Oh man. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, says over the thing. I know I'm zooming around a lot. Make that out. It was feeling like 40s, but I believe we got a president here, and I'm blanking. I can't think what Truman looks like. Hey Google, what was the last year of Truman's presidency?
Harry S. Truman served from April 12, 1945 until January 20th, 1953.
53. Let's stick it in Washington, D.C. in 1952. Washington, D.C. Eisenhower? Hey Google, what was the last year of Eisenhower's presidency? What is it showing you?
Dwight D. Eisenhower served from January 20th, 1953 until January 20th, 1961.
Well, maybe I'll hedge my bet that direction a little. Okay, where are you, Mr. Nation's Capital? That should be a state already. I don't get terribly political around here, but there we go, Washington, D.C. Let's make it later. Make it, he might not even be president anymore when this picture was taken. So let's try straight up 60. Is that the year you were born? I can never remember. 53. It was President-elect Eisenhower. So 7 years and spot on the location. 7 kilometers away. Woo! That's pretty close. Okay, total out of 1,000 was 857. Woot! Thanks for the help. You helped me quite a bit. I find that kind of fun. I'm just kind of like streaming. I'm not good at it yet, but I get better at it as I go, as I play it. Let's see about another game. Oh, I can't. Yeah. The other game I like to play sometimes is called Global, spelled wrong on purpose. But I need Google Maps. I guess I can do that part on my phone. Globle. I'll just do the country version. Woo! My browser settings are all over the map. Alright. And I'll show you a strategy I do. Quit telling people you're not good. Well, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. The main, and you're not wrong, but in defense of it, I'm trying to be a recovering perfectionist. So I have to embrace the bad with the good. Anyway, my strategy, I like a small country to start with. So I type in Singapore because it's tiny. Oop. And then as I scroll down, it is just about 4,500 miles. Okay. And then I go into Google Maps, Singapore. I drop a pin. You can't see this. I'm doing it on my phone. I drop a pin in Singapore. Scroll down so I can do measure distance. And then squeeze the map small. And I look for something that's for a country that at its nearest point is roughly 4,500 miles. So I'm thinking that's going to be African continent. 4,500. 4,500. South Sudan's not terrible. Kenya's too close. Ethiopia's too close. What about you? What are you? Djibouti? Too close. Eritrea too close. Regular Sudan might be good. I'm going to try Sudan. Sudan. Boosh. Sudan is warmer. So how far is it? 1,400 miles. And if I can kind of remember how it was from Singapore also. Gonna try Syria. Heard of it much? Ooh, it is warmer. Oh yeah, 280 miles, but that means it's not touching. So Jordan won't work, Lebanon won't work, Iraq, Turkey, Azerbaijan and Armenia don't touch. I'm going to try Armenia. Armenia. This game can be kind of fun. Okay, Armenia is adjacent. So I'm going to try Azerbaijan. That was my second choice. Azerbaijan. Also adjacent, so I'm going to try Georgia. Georgia. Mystery country is Georgia. Got it in 6. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. Well, how long have I been streaming? $1.50. That's probably not bad since I don't really have artwork I can do at the moment, and we've done the what do you call when taken. I'm going to try to find another game like that that might be good on stream as a backup. Remember what I'm doing. So in order to see the chat up on my projector, I've got to do it from my phone. Cast it from my phone. Which is trippy, but it's cool that... Oh, Peter, I don't even know if you heard about this. I haven't said any on the show, thoughtstorms Live. I bought a replacement projector. These things they were about $300. Now they're less than $100. And so I bought one, and trying to change to a better screen here. And this is a bit of a life hack. I ordered it, and the kind I got, you can use the remote, which, by the way, the remote is so hard to point at the little bitty... Oh, I hate it. Anyway, you have to use the remote to focus the lens. I mean, you can focus it manually, but you couldn't this first one. And so I called tech support and said, I can't, is there some way I can loosen this up? Because as it is now, I can't focus it. Well, send it back, or they said, we can replace it. I said, well, I mean, I just need to get it to focus. And they're like, you don't even have to send it back. We'll replace it. So I let them replace it. So I've got one that the only way I can focus is by walking it closer and further from the wall, and it turns out this room is about the right width to be pretty well focused on the wall above my screens. And I guess when I'm looking up at it, I'm not so far from looking at the camera. It's really strange. Guessing. That is ready to display. Okie dokie. Well, guys, I think I appreciate you coming by there, Spam Jedi, and anybody else that might have dropped by and lurked. Might be looking at the video on demand later on, but I'm gonna switch off tomorrow at the same time, 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, Central Daylight Mangling Time, Texas time, Chicago time. It's outboat time. So bring the torch. Jeanette Isabella. I can't get it to light up because the fan's on. I guess you could hear me over the fan. Alright, I'm going to crimp this off, but tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I'll be on again. Just can't wait to get on and again. Thanks for dropping by.